Whispers are growing louder in New York's elite circles, and secrets that were buried behind silk curtains are ready to explode. The Gilded Age is no longer just about wealth and gowns, it's a battlefield of power, love, betrayal, and reputation. In Season 3, Episode 7, every step taken in marble halls could be a move in a dangerous game. What happens when ambition clashes with tradition? And who will be left standing when the social order begins to crack? In the last episode of The Gilded Age, the tension between the old money families and the new rising elites took center stage. At the heart of it all is Bertha Russell, whose ambition continues to push against the closed doors of New York's old guard. She's not just trying to fit in anymore, she's trying to change the rules entirely. Her grand opera house project, once a symbol of status, is now a weapon. And with every dollar she spends and every alliance she forms, Bertha inches closer to being truly untouchable. Meanwhile, Marian is struggling to hold on to her independence. She's the whispers of corruption or the quiet judgments of his social rivals. George is fighting wars on every front, some in boardrooms, others in ballrooms, and then there's Oscar Van Ryn, ever the schemer. He's charming, intelligent, and deeply manipulative. His pursuit of wealth and security continues to complicate his relationships, especially as he hides parts of his identity from everyone around him. Last episode gave us a glimpse into his vulnerabilities, but Oscar rarely lets his guard down. It's clear he's planning something big, but what? As episode 6 closed, the feeling in the air was one of storm clouds gathering. There were glances that lasted too long, letters left unopened, and alliances that feel ready to snap. Everyone's smiling, but the smiles are sharper now. We're no longer just watching parties and parlor games, we're watching a war in slow motion. In this world, appearances are everything, but the truth is starting to show through the cracks. And as we move into episode 7, the stakes have never felt higher. Will Bertha finally get what she wants? Will Marian break free from the chains of tradition? And who will pay the price for wanting more than they were ever allowed to have? The trailer for episode 7 wastes no time. It opens with a dimly lit ballroom, candles flicker, the orchestra swells, and in the distance, Bertha Russell walks in wearing a gown that could silence a room. Her entrance is deliberate, slow, almost like a queen surveying her kingdom. But there's tension in her eyes. She's not just attending this event, she's claiming territory. This moment tells us everything. She's ready to confront her rivals head-on, and she's not coming empty-handed. Cut to Agnes Van Ryn at the breakfast table. Her voice is clipped, sharp. Society is not something to be taken, it must be earned. Her words are clearly aimed at someone, likely Bertha, and they drip with contempt. Agnes is holding her ground, but the very fact that she has to say it tells us something important. She feels threatened. For a woman of her stature, fear is rarely spoken. This tells us the war between old money and new is reaching its peak. Then, we see a quick montage just seconds long, but packed with clues. Marian appears in a small art studio, her face lit by natural light, quietly focused on a canvas. A young man stands behind her watching. Is this a new love interest? Or a threat to her fragile independence? Marian has been searching for her place, and now it seems like she may have found a space of her own. But nothing in the Gilded Age stays pure for long. Every passion comes at a price. Next we get our first glimpse of Peggy Scott, this time standing in front of a newspaper printing press, arguing with her editor. Her words are bold. If we wait for permission, the truth will never come out. Her fight is growing fiercer, and we're seeing her step into her power. But as the camera cuts to her mother watching from across the street, her expression filled with concern, we're reminded Peggy isn't just risking her career, she's risking her family's respect, and maybe even their safety. George Russell appears next in his office, pacing like a man under siege. A young executive hands him a telegram, and George's face goes cold. Whatever's in that message, it's not good. Is it a financial collapse? A betrayal? The trailer offers no answers, only dread. But what comes next is more telling. A dinner scene, George and Bertha alone. She asks quietly, "Can you protect us?" His silence is deafening. This could be the beginning of a serious fracture in the Russell empire. In another shot, Oscar Van Ryn is seen standing at a window, watching a man leave in the early morning. He's alone, unguarded, and for the first time, we see something like sadness in his face. Could this be a secret romance exposed? Or is Oscar about to lose something or someone he's kept hidden for too long? The trailer's final 30 seconds push the emotional tension even further. There's a shot of Bertha locking eyes with Mrs. Astor across a crowded room. No words are spoken, but the message is clear. This is war. Then a carriage screeches to a halt on a rainy cobblestone street. A figure jumps out, coat soaked, face frantic. Is it Marian fleeing from something or someone? We don't know. And that's what makes it so powerful. Just before the trailer ends, we hear a voiceover faint but haunting. Not everything that glitters survives the storm. It's unclear who says it, but it echoes like a warning. The Gilded Age has always been about appearances, gold-trimmed rooms, silken gloves, flawless manners. But now, all of that feels like a mask slipping away. So, what can we gather from this trailer? First, alliances are cracking. Second, every character seems to be pushed into a corner financially, emotionally, socially. And third, the gloves are off. Episode 7 promises to be a turning point. Not just for Bertha or Marian or Peggy, but for the entire social structure these characters live in. The visuals hint at transformation, breakdown, and possibly betrayal. Someone is going to fall, and someone else is ready to rise. The newly released stills for episode 7 give us more than just a preview, they give us strategy. They are carefully selected images designed to stir speculation without revealing too much. But if you know what to look for, these glimpses say a lot. The first image shows Bertha Russell, dressed in a breathtaking emerald gown, standing at the foot of her staircase, chin lifted high. But it's her expression that steals the spotlight, calm, but tense, almost calculating. Behind her, we spot a footman holding a sealed envelope. The placement is no accident. That envelope could mean anything: a party invitation, a threat, or even a rejection from the elite opera board she's been trying to conquer. Her body language tells us she's preparing for a move, and she's bracing for backlash. The second still places us inside Agnes Van Ryn's drawing room, where Marian and Agnes are seated across from each other. The lighting is warm but stiff, and the floral arrangements are perfectly composed, too perfect, maybe. Marian looks slightly turned away from Agnes, holding a folded piece of paper. Agnes's gaze is sharp, judging, unreadable. This could be the fallout from a decision Marian made, possibly a personal or romantic one. There's a strong sense of distance between them, emotional more than physical. This suggests that Marian is slowly, but surely, breaking free from her aunt's influence. Then we have a striking shot of Peggy Scott, sitting at her desk with scattered articles and handwritten notes around her. Her brows are furrowed. She's reading something that seems to have shaken her. The background includes a blurred-out front page of the newspaper, with the partial headline, "A Scandal in Society." This image hints at Peggy uncovering something big, perhaps involving a high-profile family, or even the Russells. Her storyline has been building toward a reckoning, and this still suggests she's holding something explosive in her hands. One of the more mysterious stills features George Russell standing alone at a construction site in formal wear, clearly out of place. The background shows steel beams, dusty workers, and unfinished architecture. George, however, is not speaking to anyone. He's just staring off, as if lost in thought. Could this be one of his latest business ventures in trouble? Or a symbol of everything he's built starting to crack? His polished suit against the gritty site tells us he's trying to keep control in a world that's becoming harder to manage. Something in his empire isn't as stable as it looks. The most intriguing image, though, comes from a private dinner scene. A long table, half-lit, with only Mrs. Astor and Bertha Russell seated at opposite ends. There's no one else in the room. The table is full of untouched food, but neither woman is eating. They're both staring at each other, icy, calm, and powerful. This is not just dinner. This is negotiation, or maybe even an ultimatum. If these two titans are meeting face to face, it means something seismic is about to happen in society. Remember, Mrs. Astor has spent 2 seasons pushing Bertha to the sidelines. But now, she's meeting her in private, with no witnesses. That alone tells us Bertha has power. Real power. One still that fans are already talking about features Oscar Van Rijn in a garden at night, holding a lantern and standing beside a cloaked figure. We can't see the second person's face, but Oscar's posture is nervous. It could be a romantic secret, or something more scandalous. The fact that it's happening outside the house, in the shadows, suggests secrecy and risk. Oscar is known for hiding his true self, but this image might signal a moment where he's forced into the light. Finally, there's a lighter but equally telling still Marian, Peggy, and a new female character, possibly a teacher or artist, sitting in what looks like a community hall. There's laughter, paintbrushes, and rolled canvases around them. It feels like a new space for these women to breathe, to talk, and maybe to scheme. This might be the beginning of a new support circle, one that steps outside the traditional drawing rooms and into something more progressive. A quiet revolution, perhaps. What all these images have in common is tension beneath beauty. Yes, the gowns are gorgeous. The chandeliers sparkle. But everyone looks just a little too controlled, too deliberate. These first looks hint at confrontation, hidden truths, and shifting alliances. Every visual suggests that episode 7 won't just be another chapter, it's a pressure point. Someone is going to make a move, and someone else might not survive the consequences. As we look ahead to episode 7, one thing is crystal clear. The mask of elegance is slipping, and the true cost of power is about to be revealed. This is the moment where everything begins to unravel or finally come together for the main players of the Gilded Age. Let's start with Bertha Russell. Her fight for social dominance has reached a critical stage. The fact that she's now sitting across from Mrs. Astor in private suggests that she's either about to be accepted or crushed. Bertha has always used wealth, spectacle, and strategy to climb the social ladder, but now she's stepping into real political territory. Our prediction? She's going to make a move that either shocks the old elite or completely backfires. And if it backfires, it won't be quietly. Bertha doesn't go down without fireworks. George Russell, on the other hand, seems like a man walking a tightrope. With the trailer hinting at business troubles and the stills showing him detached from his usual powerful presence, it's possible that a financial scandal or betrayal from someone inside his circle is on the horizon. Could this be the moment where George loses his grip and Bertha has to lead without him? Or could their united front become the very thing that pushes them past the Astors once and for all? Marian Brooks' story continues to tug at the boundaries between obedience and self-expression. She's been slowly evolving from a quiet niece into a woman who's making her own choices, ones that her family, especially Agnes, won't support. If the letter she holds in the still is a sign of forbidden love or an opportunity outside society's rules, we could see her make a choice that forces her to leave everything behind. Will Marian finally break free, or will she retreat back into the safety of tradition? Then there's Peggy Scott. Her storyline feels like it's on the edge of something huge. The hints of a newspaper scandal, her growing voice as a journalist, and the emotional weight of her family expectations, these aren't just side plots anymore. Peggy could be the key to exposing a secret that rocks the upper class, and she may have to choose between protecting someone she loves or speaking a truth that could change everything. Don't be surprised if episode 7 centers around a bold act from Peggy, one that comes at a very real cost. Oscar Van Rijn remains the wild card. His secrets, his ambition, and his charm have allowed him to maneuver through high society, but at what point do those secrets catch up with him? The nighttime garden scene suggests he's walking into a moment of vulnerability. If someone discovers the truth about his private life, Oscar could face social ruin. Or maybe he's finally tired of hiding. Could episode 7 be the start of Oscar's undoing, or the beginning of a new version of him? One that doesn't rely on manipulation to survive? As we connect the dots between the trailer and the new images, one phrase keeps echoing: something is going to break. The quiet glances, the sharp words, the emotional distance between once loyal characters. The Gilded Age has always balanced drama with restraint, but episode 7 looks ready to throw restraint out the window. So here are the big questions. Will Bertha finally get the respect she's fought for, or will her ambition cost her everything? Is Marian heading toward a forbidden Romance or a permanent exile from her world? Will Peggy expose a truth too dangerous to print? Can George hold on to his empire? Or is a collapse coming? And what happens if Oscar's secrets aren't secrets anymore? Every storyline is converging, and the quiet tension we've seen all season is about to erupt. This isn't just another elegant dinner party or charity event, it's a turning point. The game has changed, and no one is safe, as the walls of tradition begin to crack and ambition rises like smoke over Fifth Avenue. Episode 7 promises not just drama but transformation. The Gilded Age is no longer just a show about status, it's about survival. And in a world where appearances are everything, the truth can be the most dangerous weapon of all. We're standing at the edge of something big. The dinner tables are set. The invitations have been sent. But what's coming next isn't just another polite society scandal, it could be the undoing of everything these families have fought to build. So now, the question is yours. What do you think Bertha Russell is planning behind that calm stare? Will Marian walk away from her family's world forever? And what secret is Peggy preparing to uncover? Drop your theories in the comments. We want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into episode 7's trailer and first look, make sure to tap that like button to support the channel, subscribe for more Gilded Age insights, breakdowns, and character analysis, and turn on notifications so you're the first to know when new videos drop, because in this world, timing is everything. Until next time, keep your gloves white, your secrets hidden, and your eyes wide open.